Today's Thursday, May 5th, and it's 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. This is the daily chart for the US dollar Japanese yen spot pair, which is currently trading at $129.93. And each candlestick here reflects a day's worth of trading. And I've also identified local support resistance right here with these two yellow horizontal levels. And we can see that during this time period over here, there was a consolidation phase or a sideways pattern. And then price broke up above the local resistance and has pierced it for the past 2 days, including today. But this is really starting from last night when the Forex market started trading. We can see that if I zoom out, we can see that the US dollar broke out of this resistance level back here starting on March 11th when price was trying to break above 116.282. And we can see that there were multiple attempts here. So there was the first attempt over here back in January, a second attempt in February, and then in March, that's when it broke out to the upside. And yeah, so right now, yesterday was a major catalyst because if I zoom into the 1 hour time frame, right here, this candlestick to the downside, this was in response not just to this pair, but to the entire markets. And I'm not referring to just the Forex market, but this also impacted the equities market, the stock market. I haven't checked the crypto markets, but I believe the futures market was also impacted. And this was all because of the FOMC meeting minutes being announced yesterday, or the Federal Reserve. So they were talking about the inflation and basis points and quantitative easing, all of that stuff. And for the US dollar yen pair, the news was negative and pushed the price all the way back down here. But then I was watching this heading into last night, and before going to bed, I saw that price was forming this wedge pattern. So, so it was something like this. And what I did was right here, I interpreted this as a bullish sign because there was this local support resistance level here. I was anticipating that price was going to retest this level sometime during the overnight trading session. So I took one small position before going to bed, and I had a tight stop level. And here I originally had 12 and a half. Let me change this. This is actually 12 and a half because I was keeping it 18, but I decided that I wanted a tight stop because I wasn't going to be awake to manage the trade. So that's why I had a tight stop here. And so this white horizontal line reflects my entry price, right? So it was based on this 1 hour candlestick. So this is around 11 o'clock when I entered this trade. And I have this blue line right here. I have one end pinned to my entry price, and this down here is a measure of 12 and a half pips. So if I scroll down just a little bit, so it's not exactly to the pip, but you see 0.123. It's actually pinned to 1.25. Let me see if I can get it right there. So it's 0.125. So this was a stop loss of 12 and a half pips to the downside. Again, I wasn't going to be awake to manage this trade, so that's why I had a tight stop. Typically my stops is 18 pips. So anyway, now that, so before I went to bed, price was still below or slightly above my entry price. And since, this morning when I woke up a little while ago and I just logged in, price is now above my 6x level. So I've identified 2x, 4x, 6x, right? So if my stop is 12 and a half, 2x would be a profit of 2 to 1. So this is 25 pips, okay? And each level is 12 and a half pips wide. And right now, so 4x is 50 pips, right? So 12 and a half is 25, 50. Here we have 75 pips at 6x, right? So it's approximately 0.75. And here, this would be 100 pips. So it's 0.999 right now, but it's not to the pip exactly, but it gives me an approximate level to quickly eyeball price. So fortunately, I was able to get into this trade before the breakout and the retest, and I've since moved my stop from 12 and a half pips to slightly below, but between the 2x and the local support resistance. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and move my take profit to the 4x level. So this way I'm guaranteeing this to be a profitable trade. So here's my stop at the 4x level, just in case there's a sharp reversal. But I'm anticipating price to continue running, possibly to retest the 100 pip level or 8x, which would bring price back to the 130 price range. And considering that here, right, so I can't grab it. Considering that there's a strong rejection up here, I'm anticipating that this could be another support level, support resistance level, right? So you see touch points 1, 2, 3, and they're all rejections. So I may exit the trade right here and wait for maybe another consolidation and retest, and then possibly get back into the trade. Or maybe, if there's a sign that, or a signal that it could possibly reverse back towards the downside, then I'll look to short the position. So this is the status and the rationale for my entry. And if I open up Active Trader, the trade is up $64 since I got into the trade. I took one position, one mini lot, or 10,000 units. My entry price is 129.101, which is exactly what I marked up right here. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'll create an alarm just to let me know that in the event that price does pull back, let me move that. So here's my alarm right here. I'll use the 6x level. So it says create alert withdrawing. If price falls below, I want to be notified. I'll use the red alert, panic, or a police siren, just to notify me, so this way I can run back real quickly and reassess the position. So if I do half, like 65, then this would be, so if it gets triggered, if price pulls back, this gets triggered, I'll most likely move my stop up to halfway between 6 and 4 and protect as much profit as I possibly can. So as the trade progresses, what I'll do is I'll pause it for now and I'll pick it up hopefully in a few hours. So it's been a few hours. Actually, it's been almost 4 hours since the last update or the initial recording. And right now, the US dollar Japanese yen or dollar yen is still pushing higher. It just broke above the local support resistance level of 130.202 and has broken above 8x risk to reward. And if I open up Active Trader, trade is almost, well, it was originally over $100, which prompted me to start this recording, but since then prices pulled back. It's now a little under $100. So what I'll do is I'll continue walking my stop levels higher. So at this local support resistance, I will create an alarm just to let me know that price is pulling back. So there's my alarm. And I'll move my stop maybe halfway between 8 and 6. This way, again, I'm still guaranteeing a profitable trade. So here it is, it's over $100. So if I click on the trade tab, yeah, so it's almost 100. And you can see here that I got into this trade last night at 11:05. Here's the trade confirm or trade entry right here. So yeah, that's the status. As the trade progresses, I will continue monitoring the price of the dollar yen trade and continue to make updates accordingly. So until next update, I will pause it again and I'll be back. So just a quick update. It's a little after 1 p.m. and the dollar yen trade is still going, but now I'm starting to see a more considerable pullback. So I moved my stop all the way up here, which is a little over 1,200 pips. So I have my stop right here. So it's measuring 1.252. So this is almost a 1,250 pip gain. So this is going to be a stop here. And if I click on Active Trader, the trade is up $96. And if I scroll down, my stop is right here at 133.52. And here's the bid. So if the bid comes down and crosses below 352, it's going to close out my trade. If it does, I'm fine with that because I'll just wait. I still think there's going to be, this is a bullish pattern for sure. So I'll look for another setup for another long entry. I'm not going to try and snipe it for a move towards the downside because, again, the overall trend I think is bullish because it broke out of this wedge pattern right here. However, it's at support resistance right now, so we might see price come back down and retest this support level. But as mentioned, I will, I don't know, I'll keep an eye on it and see which way, if it does come back down, then I'll reevaluate it again. But anyway, here's my stop. I will keep it going until something more significant happens. If I get stopped out, then I'll probably do one last update. Otherwise, I will I'll let the trade keep running. So I'll be back. So just a quick update. It's 2:55 p.m. It's been about 2.5 hours since the last update. But this is my last update as I am officially out of the trade. I got stopped out at 130.429, which I measured from my entry price of 129.101 to where I got stopped out. It's a measure of about 132 pips. And if I show trades, so here's my confirmation flag showing that I closed it out at that price, which is right here, which is about halfway down this candlestick here at the 30-minute time frame. And here's my entry right here. So this is where I entered. and I was able to capitalize on the breakout as I was anticipating would occur when I was reviewing this chart last night. And let me just get rid of this. So the trade overall was slightly above 10.5 times risk to reward. So I was risking about $13, $12.50 to greater than 10 times. And if I open up back the trader, position is 0, position is flat, and this is the profit. So if I click on the trade tab, so I was able to get out of trade above $100, and yeah, so again, I was anticipating some sort of consolidation up here because price, based on my assessment, price broke above this local support resistance level of 130.202. I'm anticipating that price is going to come down. How far down? I would have to take a look at the chart and quickly review it again, but I think price is going to stay up here for a little bit, consolidate sideways, and may have another chance for a leg up, a second leg up. So if I toggle over to the 1 hour time frame, so this could be the A leg, and then here's a consolidation, a slight pullback down to 130, and then we might see a B leg running right back up much higher. So if I go to the daily time frame, so here are all the support resistance levels I identified. So there isn't really that much more or much higher than price is going to be able to get above to, where I have this support resistance level of 130.817. So price may consolidate at the daily time frame. It might go sideways for maybe a couple of days, and then it might start to tick towards the downside or pip towards the downside. Tick is a futures. So anyway, that's it. I'm just rambling on at this point. So I'm out of the trade, 10x risk reward till the next trade setup. Actually, so one last thing. So I was risking 12.5, and this was approximately 10.6x risk to reward. So overall, it's 132. Which lines up to 132.8 right here. So for the Japanese yen, I believe you don't count the last digit. It's only the first 2 digits after the decimal point. So it's 132. So everything lines up here. Yeah, so until the next trade or setup, I'll be back.